Let's take a look at creating our own wraps per inch tool, and I've sacrificed one of my size 10 DPNs because I don't think I've ever used it, and if you've watched my other video you know I prefer using the magic loop method. So with my tape measure and a pencil I've marked off 1 inch there, put that to one side. And then with some masking tape, I'm very carefully going to line up and keep it as straight as I possibly can. And just wrap that round and do the same on the other side. And I'm doing that just in case the pencil ever rubs off. Okay, so I've got my markers in place. The reason I'm using a DPN is because it will hold its shape. It's not going to bend. Like if I did this on a piece of cardboard, over time it would bend and you wouldn't get an accurate measurement. So you want to use something that will hold its shape and is the same diameter all the way through. For an example, a chopstick would be no good because it's thinner at one end than the other. So this is the same diameter where I'm doing my measuring. You could even use a pencil. I've just chosen to use this. So I've picked 3 balls of yarn from my stash and I genuinely don't know what weight they are. I think this is a double knit. I think this is an Aran. Not sure about this one because it looks like it's in between. So I'm going to take what I think is the double knit. Hold my yarn right at the edge of that marker, wrap a few round to start with, and just hold that end so it doesn't slip. And now we can roll our wool round. And be careful not to cross. You want the yarns that you're wrapping round to lay next to each other. Okay, so you can see that's how it naturally rolled around my tool. I haven't bunched them up and I haven't left big gaps. And now we're going to count how many wraps are between our markers. So if I just hold that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if I look on my chart that I'll post below, DK weight yarn is wraps per inch 12 to 14, and you'll probably find with double knit that the darker the yarn with the dye has made it slightly thicker and the paler colour will be slightly thinner. It's just, I think it's the dye process makes the bulks, the yarn fibres out. So anyway, I know that I've got between 12 and 14, so I've got 13 wraps, that this is double knit. So now I'm going to do the same with what I think is Aran. So start the first few strands off carefully, and now you can just start to rotate your tool.
Guiding that yarn to sit.
Okay, so now I'm going to count. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, so that's says that's a DK. I would have thought that was an Aran. Okay, that's interesting. And then finally this wool. So again, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's an Aran yarn, as I thought. So that's just something useful if you just want to clarify what yarn you're about to knit with. We'll tell you what size needles you need to use, and it will also give you an idea of your gauge.